Hi and welcome everyone to another KLU Goes Live. Today we're going to be talking with Anna. She's a master's student at KLU. She's also an international student. So I hope you enjoy the live of today. Quick introduction of myself if you haven't been here before. My name is Laura. I am a KLU alumni. I graduated last year and I'm currently working for the marketing department. I will now invite Anna. And then we can start. So if you have any questions about the program or an international experience in Hamburg at KLU, you can start sending your questions and we will address throughout the live. We also have received a couple of questions beforehand when we put the stories, so we also will address those questions. Let's see. Anna, I don't know if you're already here. You should receive now an invitation to join us live. Hi and welcome everyone. Anna is joining. She should be here live with us very soon. Maybe you can just say in the chat where you're from, if you're interested in the KLU, either in the bachelor's or even the master's. Today we are talking about the master program, but in 2 weeks we will have another live about the bachelor's. Let me try it again. Can you join now? I don't know if you can see, Anna, if you already joined in the live. You should have received a notification now to join us live. I see that you joined. I will send you again an invitation, which then it should work. Sometimes it can happen. That takes a little bit of time for a connection. Hi there. Maybe, Anna, you can just put in the chat if you are receiving my request to join. Otherwise, we can just restart. Sometimes those technical issues happen with Instagram. Okay, we will turn. Okay, I think now it should work. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, hi. Okay, good. Sometimes it takes, I don't know, Instagram does some crazy things and it happens, but I'm glad it worked. So welcome, Anna. As I said, today we have Anna. She's from Panama, an international student studying her master's in global logistics and supply chain at KLU. Yeah, I would just ask you to introduce yourself and then we can start.
Yeah, you kind of already introduced me. And I feel like by now people have seen me in the stories a couple times already. But yeah, for anyone that didn't see the stories, my name is Anna. I'm from Panama. I'm in my last and fourth semester of the master's program in global logistics and supply chain management.
Perfect. Okay. So once we published the live on Insta, we received already some questions. So I have them here and I would just maybe start with them. And then if anyone has any questions during the live, they can just send in the chat and then we can address that as well. So the first question was actually asking if you could tell a little bit more about the master programs. So how long it is, more or less a bit of the structure and how does it work?
Well, I'm in the standard track of the program. So that means it takes me 2 years to finish it. During these 2 years, in the middle, in the summer break, you're supposed to do an internship, depending also on your previous work experience. And in the last semester, fourth semester, which is what I am right now, you have to work on your thesis. There's also like a fast track option, but I'm not even going to talk about it because I don't know anything. So just check the website for that.
Yeah, so if you want to know about the fast track, you can just check the website. It's really explained. You can download the brochure and you have a full overview.
Mhm.
Okay.
And also, the third semester, you have the opportunity to study abroad. But for
Okay.
me, like it already counts like studying abroad, so I didn't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense, right? It's already a big change, a big trip to be in Germany.
Mhm.
I understand. So maybe can you tell us how it was, the process of you just deciding to come to Germany and start studying again? How was this
Mhm.
change?
So let's go back to my bachelor's. I studied business administration, but it was already in the marine industry,
Mhm.
university related industry. So I already had some classes on logistics and transportation, so I already had some interest in it. And then I studied sort of like a short postgraduate program in Panama, which
Okay.
was related to supply chain management. That's where I started paying more attention to it. I liked it, so decided to, okay, I could do this a longer term program. I honestly just Googled like the best ranking supply chain management programs out there.
Okay.
KLU was in the list, compared some universities, decided that Hamburg with the sport, how well ranked the university was, all the good things that they say about KLU, just decided to go for it.
Okay.
And yeah, ended up here.
Nice. That's nice. I'm glad we chose KLU and
Mhm.
I mean, so I think the program ended up fitting perfectly for
Mhm.
what were you looking for? I remember, okay, one of the questions goes with what I'm going to say right now. I remember in our talk, you mentioning that you are currently doing a work student job. And one of the questions was regarding about the how it is to find
Mhm.
internship or work student positions, if there is any support of the university or how
Mhm.
to work. And I know you are actually working right now, so maybe you can just tell a bit about that as well.
Yes. So I'm currently have a working student position in Airbus. So I'm working part-time. And one of the reasons that I chose KLU was the idea of not only like growing academically and studying supply chain
Mm-hmm.
management, but also because the university itself helps you find jobs. Like it's well has a good reputation within the industry. There are activities. You have even like a class from the career services that helps you work on your CV. There's quite a lot of support from the university. There are
Yeah.
networking events. So it is a more practical approach to it than just studying for an exam. And so I came with that expectation of not only studying, but actually finding a job. And I did it.
Great.
Um, yeah. I don't speak German, so I
Mm-hmm.
was concerned about how that would limit my options when I came. But I can honestly say to anyone that yes, it does limit the options, but you will still find something. They are quite big companies here, international, multinational, that need people that want to have someone international. So you'll find something. It's just a matter of applying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's perfect to touch on that because that's actually also one of the questions we had of how it
Mhm.
is actually to find a job, to study, to move to a different country. So how it is this
Mhm.
experience as an international student. So maybe you can share this a little bit about your experience so far as an
Mhm.
international student in Germany and at KLU as well. Um, because that's always comes up the topic, of course, when you decide to make a big move and totally shift your lifestyle, language, culture, everything. So how it has been your experiences so far?
Mhm. Yeah, it's an understandable concern when you're moving your entire life. But I see it more as an adventure than just thinking about all the things that could go wrong.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, this is my second time living abroad. I studied first in Taiwan, then I studied here. So it might have not been as much of a shock for me, but still, it takes some time getting used to.
Definitely.
Especially, of course, the culture in Germany is quite different to the Latino culture.
Hmm.
But there are still so many benefits of living here that just outweigh any of the initial shock that you may experience. By now, I've been here, what, like a year and a half almost, and I feel quite good. Like, I honestly feel like very blessed to be here, like stupidly blessed sometimes of being here.
Well, that's great. That's great
Yeah.
because when you're far away from home, far away from everyone you know, and I experienced this
Mm,
myself coming from Brazil as well. And as you said, the Latin America culture, it is very different. Uh,
mm,
but I can say also for myself that I found myself very happy here. I found very nice people, and I'm probably, I would say, encountered very little issues through my last
mm,
4 years here in Germany. So yeah, definitely
mm.
there is
Yeah.
it's difficult, but it's still great.
And it's still quite an international city. You are in
Yeah,
a program that's completely in English, quite international students too. So you will feel welcome. There's other people going through the same thing. So
definitely.
you won't feel out of place here at all.
Yeah. We just got a question that's asking how many classes more or less you have during the week for the master program,
Mhm.
and if you have somehow a flexibility to create your timetable a bit. So I would say that goes together with the fact that you're working. So how does it work? So what is the schedule look like for you?
Mhm. So it really depends on the semester and the quarter itself of the semester. So
Mm-hmm.
our semesters are divided into quarters, and depending on the quarter, there will be like a requirement of classes that you have that you can take. It
Mm-hmm.
goes from core classes and elective classes. Of course, the course ones you have to take, but the elective ones sometimes, like you can move around. You can do more in one quarter and then do less in another quarter. So it really depends on you. I, as a working student, I work 18 hours a week. So I
Okay.
do have that in mind whenever I choose my classes. I want things to be balanced each quarter to make sure that I can still do all.
And how do you think, that's also was a question, more of the market job for international students and this flexibility? We did already talked a little bit about, as you said, that not knowing German can limit it a
Mhm.
bit, but it's still definitely doable and definitely possible. You, for example, working at Airbus and you say you don't know German and English can works for you just fine. Um,
Yes.
do you know maybe from your classmates, as you said, there are lots of other international students. Do you know how it is, this general picture of the job market for international students from
Mhm.
your perspective? Of course, um, different people can have different views on this topic, but from you, from your peers, how do you see it?
Mhm. Well, all of my peers, international students, have all found, those that have looked for it have all found jobs as
Mhm.
working students. They all found internships.
I
It
think that's,
might take some time. Mhm.
sorry, you can go on. I just wanted to say I think that's really important that you said that
Mhm.
the ones that looked for a job can find it, because that's something I feel here in Germany, and I think everywhere. If you want something, you need to look for it and you need to fight for it. It's not going to fall in
Mhm.
your plate, as it's not going to fall on a German plate either. So it's always a matter of working for it. So just,
Mhm.
yeah.
No, completely. We're here looking for a better life, but we also have to put effort in finding that better life. So it does take some time. You will have to go through a few applications. You will have to deal with rejection, but you will find it at the end. And especially for me, I had let's say the drawback that not only do I not speak German, but I don't have really any prior experience in logistics or supply chain
Mhm.
management. I never used that part of my diploma. So I
Okay.
was when I started, I already had that concern that it's not gonna be impossible, like well, like I'm gonna have like an uphill battle, but I still found one and I found a good one. So I'm
Mhm.
sure everyone else, if I did it, anyone else can do it too. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to hear, and I think that really answered the question, because looking into the questions that we receive, I could really feel this, that people sometimes are afraid of job market or to adapt into a different country, and I think everything it is sad. It is possible, it is doable, and it is great, and the experience is worth it. Um,
Mhm.
we did actually had a question a bit time ago, and I saved it. And I know this sometimes can be a question that you might not have an answer for it, and most of people don't have an answer for it. Maybe
Mhm.
just to share, do you have an idea more or less of what you want to do once you graduate with your master's? Do you want to stay here in Germany? Do you want to go back to Panama? Do you think
Mhm.
that the field that you are right now, that's logistics supply chain, is exactly what you thought it was and you want to stay on it. What is your perspective on that?
Mm-hmm. The only thing I have certain is that I'm not going back to Panama. That I know for sure. I left Panama with that intention. I felt quite stuck professionally over there. So
Mhm.
like just going back would be back to the same thing. I know that for certain. In what company doing what? I don't know. I'm open. Supply chain management, there's so many areas of it. So I could really, I'm open to try them all and finding what fits for me.
Mhm.
And during the classes, you have an opportunity to study so many of those areas that you get intrigued by it. It's a moment to put in practice what I have learned. I do, from what I have researched and what I know about like the legal path in Germany, there seems to be an option for me to stay here, and I hope that
Mhm.
I will continue towards that. But yeah, I don't have an answer. No one has an answer for
But
that.
no one has an
Even
answer for this question,
when
and
you
it's
start, when
always
you are in the last semester, you still don't have an answer. You're just trying to figure it out.
exactly. And I think
Here
that
for the adventure.
especially for international students, it's always a question where you're like, I don't know. Whatever will come in my way, I will face it. It's either bad
Exactly.
or not, and we go for it. Um, okay, then maybe can you share a little bit of when you started your program, how it was to adapt and everything? Was everything back into the in-person setting? Was it still online? How was it
Mm-hmm.
when you started and how it is now in comparison?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I started fall 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So there was still some impacts of COVID-19 on everything. So my visa took quite some time, and I had to start online my classes. So I
Mm-hmm.
ended up coming here like early November.
Okay.
And so during this time in this program, I've had sometimes classes online, sometimes in person. What else? What was there was a lot of questions. So what was
It's okay. So that's how it is right now because you said right now you're starting to work on your thesis, correct?
uh-huh.
And now
So
I like KLU has everything back in person and so
mhm.
on. How is this process going for you?
So yeah, so there was some sort of like a transitional phase where we were still online. By now, they still give you sometimes options of online or in person. It really depends. Right now, my classes were online. A class, Applied Research Methods, that prepares you for the master thesis. And then yeah, I'm supposed to start next month in March. My master thesis. I have to work on it for 5 months, and then I'm done. Hopefully,
Excited?
will. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking.
And do you already, I mean, this is now more as a chat. Do you already know your topic or is still an ongoing?
Okay, I know my professor.
That's
I have
good.
a brother. Yes, yes. That took so long just to get that. That's a win. I got my
Mm-hmm.
professor. I have a broad idea for the topic. So we're getting there slowly.
It's good. Yeah, I remember during my thesis, I had a professor. That's how I started. And then throughout the process, I think I changed my topics or how I saw it. Every paper I read, I was like, oh no, change. Oh no, change. So I think it takes time, but it can be
Mhm.
stressful, but it's also fun to see from this perspective. You learn a lot. Um, then maybe one of the last questions, because we're getting to the end, how it is that you balance like life outside uni and work. How is it?
Mhm.
What maybe KLU offers that you can do as extracurricular activity that you joined, and
Mhm.
how does this work?
Mhm. And it takes a lot of really like motivation and just sort of like reprimanding yourself and forcing you to be. You don't have. So I live alone. So it really depends on me structuring my day and getting things done. You don't have your parents, you don't have anyone else watching you. So like what you do really, the outcome and your results really depends on yourself. So
Definitely.
my day to day, I do have to balance like few hours of my working student position, a few hours of classes or whatever projects. KLU also always has something going on. So
Mm-hmm.
be it activities for only for the students to just get to know everyone, or be in workshops or be in other lectures. There's always something going on in KLU and in Hamburg itself too. Like over here was the first time I went to an opera show. I've never done that in my life. So that also that part of like the cultural artistical side of Hamburg is also quite good to explore. So you won't get bored. You will be able to have a balanced life here. Also, nightclubs, if you like that, there's also a lot of options in Hamburg. There's specific,
Definitely, I
so
think
that's very famous.
that part.
So yeah, so you find everything that you want here in Hamburg. Just go.
Yeah, I think that's
Have
true.
fun. Mm.
Then maybe for us to end the live, and do you have any advice for someone that might be watching this either now or later when it's on the feed, that they might be wanting to come to study abroad, come to KLU, but they still are in this thinking phase or planning phase? What would be your advice for someone?
Mm. Just go for it. Like really stop thinking about it so much. Just stop postponing it. Just do it, because it's gonna be worth it at the end. Like I truly believe, like if you put in the effort, you'll be able to do it just as everyone else has done it before you. And it really, again, I really don't regret it. Like I really, the quality of life here is quite high, quite different to Panama. So it's a good place to be. And it's a place that's gonna open a lot of opportunities for you. So just go.
Okay. Just before we end, I just saw that someone wanted to ask a question. If you can just send the question quickly, then we can get to it. Otherwise, just after put the question in the comment when we put it into the feed, and then Anna can maybe just answer to you. So we just give a second to see if someone is going to send the question in. But yeah, okay.
The residence permit question?
in Germany, and if so, how long were you waiting for it? I feel always this question can be a bit tricky, because saying it always depends from where you come from, what is the regulations, what are the laws between your country and Germany. So never, I would say, something that you take from someone else. You take that with the authorities and everyone that's responsible. But maybe Anna, you can just quickly share from your experience. I think it's more, rather than a resident permit, it's a visa, a student visa. But yeah, as I said, this information is always very personal, but maybe you can just quickly share.
Yeah. Yes, it's quite personal, but again, I don't think it's something that you have to be concerned about, really. So I came with a student visa. In my experience, and what I've heard from other international students, we come with a student visa of 6 months, and then we get extended to a temporary residence permit. And then right now I'm in the process for a year, that temporary residence permit. And then right now I'm in the process of extending it again until the end of the program, until August. But what I say that is not a problem is that you are a student, you're enrolled. So it's just a matter of presenting your documents, quite a short interview, and they'll keep extending you without a problem.
Okay. Yeah. So as I say, if you want more information on that, definitely check into the authorities' website. You can always differ from country to country and situation, particulars of the situation. But maybe one general info is that Germany has a quite really nice, I would say, policy for international students, in a sense that as an international student, you always get up to 18 months once you graduate to find a job. So that's always like a quite good feature, because if you study at KLU, the statistics is that you would find a job within less than 6 months of your graduation, so which is great. But you, per law, per policy, you would have up to 18 months to look for this job here in Germany. So always quite an interesting point. You can always definitely find more of this information. There is on the website, but also in the authorities' website. This is a quite known topic for international students here in Germany. But yeah, so I would say that we have reached our time. Anna, it was really nice chatting with you. We have some people here saying thank you, that they hope to join us soon, and we hope to see you soon on campus. This will be posted on our feed, so if maybe you want to still ask some questions or something, you can just leave us a comment. and then either Anna or I will get back to you. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything, you can always reach out also to our recruitment team and just check our website. And keep an eye on our Instagram. We will soon publish about the next live that will be focused on the bachelor program, application process, and scholarships. So if you might be interested in any of those topics, make sure to join. Thank you so much, Anna, and thank you, everyone, and happy end of a Tuesday for us here in Germany. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.